Let's find out which heel skate's the best, Neon Street Rollers, Razor Jets, or Easy Rollers. Hey guys, Scott here with Now You Found It with Scott and Ashley, the channel that does the digging so you don't have to. Hey guys, my name is Scott. We have a very exciting unboxing and review video today. We're going to be looking at some of the top brands of heel skates on the market. You may be familiar with the brand Heelys, which started the whole trend out. We're going to be looking at skates that actually detach from the shoe. Over the years, I've had a lot of experience with heel skates, and I wanted to share that knowledge with you guys. Full disclaimer, I am affiliated with one of the companies we are reviewing today, Easy Rollers, but I'm going to try to make this video as unbiased and honest as I can. So let's take a look at the skates. First up, we have the Neon Street Rollers. The packaging was already a little bit damaged when I purchased the item, but looking at the packaging, it looks really great. There's a nice big picture, shows you exactly what the product is. It's for 6 years old and up. One thing I do notice is the weight capacity is very low on these though. It's 132 pounds, so that leaves a lot of riders out. Let's open it up and see what's inside. First thing I noticed with the Neon Street Roller is this, what appears to be a shoelace guard. It looks really large and uncomfortable. Looks like it would just get in the way more than it would help. And I think it's mainly for looks. So if I was riding it, I would take this off. And the good news is it looks like it's easily removable. You just have to take off the clip and you can take it off. So let's get rid of this thing. Okay, there we go, much better. So the next thing I notice on these skates is there is no wheel guard, which I think is a big deal. It looks a lot better without the wheel guard, but with any type of wheeled item, I think that safety comes first. And the reason to have the wheel guard is that it'll stop the wheels from contacting each other or contacting other objects and leading you to fall. The other thing I notice is there's little brakes in the back. But if you've ever ridden hill skates, you know that you don't need brakes in the back because that's not how you really stop. You stop with the front of your foot, not the back. So it looks like they can be removed, but this frame is still elongated, so it looks like it's still going to get in your way and stop your ability to maneuver properly. One good thing about this skate is the strap is actually nice and strong, and it has a metal clip. I like the strap on this skate a lot. The next thing is the adjustability. Let's take a look at that. It seems to be a quick release mechanism, which is pretty cool, but it only locks one direction. You can push it in. It doesn't stop it. That's a huge problem. I think we'll have to ride them and see for sure, but I would like the skate to lock in place instead of being able to move. Let's see how strong it is at full clip. They're actually fairly decently strong. For a skate that only is rated for 134 pounds, I think that's probably right. This clipping mechanism only allows so much strength though. So I think, older adults, as described on the package, should not ride this skate. For kids, this skate looks like easy to adjust and to put on. The wheels appear to be polyurethane, which is a good material for wheels. They also spin really well, so they're probably an ABEC 5 bearing inside. Looks like you can switch it out, that's good. I would actually prefer a softer urethane in the wheel for a smoother ride. This might be a little bit rougher just because the urethane is so hard. So overall, this skate would be an okay choice for somebody less than 135 pounds, but there were a few safety concerns I had with the skate, so I might not be able to fully recommend this skate, but let's take a look at the other skates and then we'll get into the ride test too. So here's the Razor Jet out of the box. First thing I notice, the wheels are tiny, even smaller than the Neons, and these are supposed to be rideable by adults. The problem with that is these tiny little wheels are going to hit every bump, every crack, and I don't think it's going to make it over them. Also, the wheel guard here is only a half wheel guard. So I would like a full wheel guard because you can strike objects in the front, strike your other skate, possibly fall from that. The other thing here is this plastic is really high. This is going to be annoying. It's going to get into your ankles. And I think it's going to be uncomfortable. Some people have lower profile shoes. It looks like it was just mainly for looks. It does make the skate look pretty cool, separates it from the rest, but I think it's actually, in my taste, a little bit flashy, and I think it's going to be uncomfortable. Also, this plastic is a really brittle plastic. I think that this is not going to be very strong. It's supposed to support 176 pounds. I also noticed that it's Velcro. I don't like Velcro, and that's because Velcro doesn't last. Velcro gets wet, it gets aged, and it doesn't hold you in as well, and it's one of the most important things on these skates because that's what holds you in and keeps the skate from separating from you. So I would like to not see Velcro. The good news is, though, it does feel like a really strong strap other than the Velcro, so that's good. It actually seems stronger than the plastic that's holding it in right there. That little thin piece of brittle plastic, I think if you're hard on these skates, that's going to break. Let's check out the clipping mechanism, see if it's stronger than the Neon's. It does the same thing as the Neon. It doesn't stop both directions, just one. You push it right in. I don't like that at all. I think it compromises the rideability of the skate. Let's see on full clip how strong it is. I can already tell you, just from light pressure, look at that. It's wiggling. Wiggling all over the place. I don't know how this is supposed to support 176 pounds. The Neon actually felt stronger than this skate. This is wiggling all over the place. It's going to affect your riding, especially if you're hitting bumps and stuff with these tiny little wheels. We're going to have to ride it and see. I'm a good candidate for this skate because I'm 160 pounds, and I'm not so sure this skate's going to hold me. But we'll give it a try and see how it goes. Let's move on to the next skate. Next up we have the Easy Rollerz, Generation 2. First off, the packaging is not as flashy, or I don't really like it as much as the last two skates, but it does get down to the point, tells you about the fitment, the riding, shows you the lights. Looks like it has multicolored lights, which the other two did not have. Looks like it's for 6 years old and up. Sounds about right. Up to 170 pounds. That's actually less than the Razor Jet. ABEC 5 bearings, one size fits all, no batteries required. So let's take a look inside. So it looks like to adjust it, you need this little adjustment screw that's included in the box. It's a Phillips. You can disassemble the whole skate, and when you adjust it, it's just about 4 turns each, and you can pull it open. It's going to be a little more difficult than the ratcheting system of the last two, but it's going to be the strongest. Also, the material, this PVC that's used, you can just tell it's dense. It's a lot stronger than the last two skates. Even though the Jet says it's stronger, I think this is the strongest skate of the three. You can get some flex out of it, but not much. Also, the wheels are the biggest, which I like a lot. It's going to make it a lot better for riding outside. The wheels light up in multicolor, which is nice. It also has the wheel guard, which is going to protect your wheels. Protect you from falling if your wheels strike something. The other thing I'll notice about this skate is it has the heavy-duty long strap. You want your strap to be long and heavy-duty, which the last two skates did have that as well. But this one does have the metal clip like the Neon, which I like a lot more than the Velcro. So let's do a ride test and see. But I'm going to say overall, this skate looks like it'll hold children or adults. Although it's a little bit more difficult to adjust, I think that makes the skate stronger. So let's check it out. Alright, first up's the Neon Street Rollers. We're going to go ahead and put these on. Even though it's not rated for my weight, we're going to give it a try. Here's the easy rollers. We're going to try them on and see how they ride. Alright guys, here's the Rollerz Jets. We're going to put these on and see how they ride. Hey guys, we're out here at the park. We're going to test out all three of the skates. We're going to see how their strength holds up, how fast they can go, how they are doing tricks, how they are on bumpy surfaces, how they are going over cracks, and see how they all do. Now let's see how the Rollerz Jets ride. The Rollerz Jets weren't that fast, but they were pretty smooth, a lot smoother than I expected. Let's see how the Neon Street Rollers ride. Uh-oh. Neon Street Rollers, not so fast, but I think I'm over the weight limit. So the Neon Street Roller did fall off my foot. Let's see how the easy rollers ride. Whoa, the easy rollers are pretty fast. Alright, surprisingly, they all did pass the spin test. I was able to do it. Hey guys, so we're going to try the skates on a bumpy surface right now. We're going to try the Rollerz Jets on a bumpy surface. Oh. Rollerz Jets barely made it over the bumps. Alright, so the Neons, they rode over the bumps, but it kind of seemed like they were going to break. We're going to try easy rollers on a bumpy surface. Alright, so the easy rollers worked pretty well over the bumps. So how did they ride? The Neon Street Rollers rode decently. I was way over the weight limit. They were rated for 135 and I'm 160, so they were bowing a lot. So for someone my weight, I wouldn't say they ride that great, but for someone of a lower weight, maybe 135 and below, they might actually ride pretty decently. Also, the comfort and safety, they were pretty comfortable, but as far as safety, they did fall off my foot once. That might also just be because they were bowing so much, I'm not sure. As for tricks, I was able to do a spin on the Neon rollers, which I'm surprised because of the bowing, but I would say they were the most uncomfortable to do spins on. So on the smooth sidewalk ground, the Neons did okay. They were actually able to go over the little cracks in the sidewalk. But when we went to the bumpy test on the bricks, they did not fare very well, although they did do better than the Jets. But because of their small wheels, they were not able to handle the bricks, and I think that's a huge factor. Having bigger wheels helps a lot better on the bricks, and their wheels are pretty small. So I would rate these guys in second place for the brick test. So for the strength test, for me, the Neons didn't do very well. They were bowing and bending, and I was worried they were going to break. But considering they're only rated for 135 pounds, that's probably about right. So for younger kids, I think they would be fine. But I'm going to have to rate them in third place as far as strength. As for longevity, the Neons were the weakest, so I think they won't last as long as the other two brands. Also, the wheels, because the material was harder than the other two skates, it was wearing much faster. So as far as a long-lasting skate, I don't think the Neons are a long-lasting skate, and they come in third place. So I'd say overall, the Neon Street Rollers are an okay skate if you're 10 years old or younger. If you're older than that, I would say they're not going to last very long, and I couldn't suggest them, but they are pretty solid skate. So up next, the Razor Jets. How did they ride? So there was a problem with the Razor Jets, as I feared, and that is they were bending a lot. So I did find a way around this. I was able to pull the strap really, really tight, and because of the shape of the frame, that did stop it from bending. So I was surprised about that. But that comes into comfort. Made them really uncomfortable. I didn't like it. And then on top of that, the plastic goes up so high, it digs into your ankles. And it's extremely uncomfortable. As for safety, the wheels are so small, and if you hit a bump or crack, you could very easily fall. So I didn't like that. And then when we did the straight line test, they actually worked really well. The bearings are good, and they're pretty smooth. But you don't really want to get going that fast with wheels that small, because if you hit an obstacle, you could go down. Another thing worth noting about the Razor Jets is they do have a half wheel guard, which when I was riding them, it actually helped a lot to stop your toe from striking the wheel. Although it doesn't have a front wheel guard, so I would still have to say the Easy Rollers are better, but the Razor Jets are pretty good in that aspect. And for the tricks, the spins actually felt pretty good on them. I would rate them in second place for doing tricks and spinning. And the brakes actually surprisingly did not get in the way on the Razor until I put the spark pads in. When you put the spark pads in, it does get in the way of your riding a lot. You lift your foot too high, the sparks make contact and can make you fall. As for surfaces, they did good on the sidewalk because it was smooth and they were able to handle even the small cracks on the sidewalk. But on the bumpy surface, the Razor Jets were the worst, and not surprising because they have the smallest wheels. They're almost unrideable on bricks. So I didn't like that at all because you're not always going to have a smooth surface to ride on. As for the strength, the Razor Jets, like I said, if you put the strap on really tight, they are okay as far as strength. But if you wear them comfortably, they're not strong at all. As I feared from the unboxing, they bend and wiggle a lot. So my big problem with the Razor Jets is on the box it says they hold 176 pounds, which is the highest of the three skates. But they wiggle and bend when I ride them, and I'm 160. So I think that is incorrect. So for long lasting, I'd have to say the Razor Jets aren't going to do very well either because they bend and wiggle, and that's never good. Also, the plastic material used for them is very brittle, and also the wheels are the smallest, so they're going to wear out the fastest. So I'd say out of the three, it's kind of a draw with the Neons for longevity because they do support a little more weight, but I don't think they are going to be long lasting. As for the spark feature on the Razor Jets, it's kind of cool. We probably got a couple cool shots for video, but overall I don't like them because they affect safety and they affect the way you ride. When you put the spark pads on, it They initiate when you're trying to skate. If you try to do a spin, they'll make contact and you'll fall. Also, one thing to note about the sparks. In the commercial, the kid is making both feet spark at the same time. While this is possible, it's extremely uncomfortable to do that. You have to lift your left foot really high. It hurts your ankle. And also, I think if you try it at home and you don't have good balance, or you're not experienced with heel skates, you're probably going to fall on your back. So I think doing the both foot sparking method is a bad idea. If you're going to do the sparks, do it with one foot, do it with your lead foot, the one in the front. And it'll actually make your sparks last longer because you'll only be using 2 at a time. But one downside also with the sparks is they give you 4 sparks, which is, basically one set of sparks, 2 on each foot. They wear out really quickly. We were using them for about 10 minutes and we went through about half the spark pad. So I think it's a bit of a gimmick, and I think the way they're advertised is not the way you really want to use them, but it is kind of a cool option to have if you want to do the sparks, but not for everyday riding. So next up, the Easy Rollers. How did they ride? Well, out of the 3 skates, they did ride the best. They were the smoothest, they went the fastest, they were easiest to do tricks on, and they went over bumps the best. For comfort, they were the most comfortable because they were low profile. They were easy to get on and off with the strap. And for safety, I think they were the safest because they were the strongest and they didn't come off while riding, and I just felt like I could go faster and do more tricks with them. Another thing to note about safety is the Easy Rollers come in first place because they have the full wheel guard. The wheel guard on the Easy Rollers will stop objects from the front or the back. As for strength, the Easy Rollers definitely came in first place. They had the strongest, densest PVC frame, so I think they're going to hold the most weight. The box actually says they hold 170, which is less than the Jet, but they definitely hold more than the Jet. I think it's a very conservative weight rating, and I think they easily hold more than 170 pounds because I'm 160 and they weren't bending or wiggling at all. I think these probably, you could ride them closer to 200 pounds if you wanted. As for long lasting, I think the Easy Rollers come in first because they're the strongest and they have the biggest wheels. So the frame's not going to break, and because you have a larger wheel, it's going to have a longer life. Plain and simple. So overall, I had a hard time rating these 1 through 3 because in the safety aspect, the Razor Jets had a half wheel guard, so they were much better than the Neons that did not have a wheel guard. Without the wheel guard, you can strike the wheel and you could fall. So in that aspect, the Razor Jets were better than the Neons. But the Neons were better than the Jets on the bumpy surfaces, which means if you hit a bump, crack, or you're going over some brick, you could actually ride on them with the Neons, where with the Jets you can't ride at all. You could possibly fall. So I'd have to give them a draw in safety, whereas the Easy Rollers definitely came in first for safety. And for strength, the Jet did have more strength than the Neon Street Roller, but then again, it says it was rated for 176 when I don't think it could hold 160. That was my weight. So I'd have to, again, give them a draw because the Neon Street Roller says it's only rated for 135, and it probably is rated for 135 in my opinion. Whereas the Jet isn't rated for 176 in my opinion. And with long lasting, I think that with my weight, the Razor Jet might last a little longer than the Neon, but again, the Neon's only rated for 135. So that's why I'm just overall, because of safety, weight capacity, the way they ride over obstacles, I'd have to give the Neon and the Jet a draw. So in first place, I'd have to give the Easy Rollers that title because they were the strongest and they were the smoothest. I wasn't worried about falling, so I was able to go much faster on them. So if you want to go faster, you want to do tricks, it's definitely going to be the best. If you want to ride on rough surfaces, it's definitely going to be the best. So I think they're hands down in first place. And because they're stronger and they have bigger wheels, they are going to last the longest. And pricing wise, they are priced in the middle. So I think at that price, and considering they're the best of the 3 in almost every field here, I think Easy Rollers are the best. I would also say that the website does say that they are a premium heel skate, And I would say that's definitely true. Like if you take these other two brands and you compare the Easy Rollers, they're just a little bit more premium riding on them and it's just a premium feel. So I would definitely say first place Easy Rollers. Alright guys, well that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video useful and you could take away some information that would help you with your purchase. I have linked all the products that were reviewed in this video today in the description, so if you want to purchase any of them, you can find them there. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the new channel me and my wife made. We're going to be doing a lot more reviews, so stay tuned.